Clunkiness. What defines gameplay as clunky? It is important to have limitations on characters so that they don't trivialize the game, but when the limitations lead to general clunk, then you know you've done a bad job. Similar games in the genre have made character designs overly restrictive, contributing to a clunky experience. Clunky gameplay leads to frustration and the eventual hatred for the character, unless you can change it. Now, Wuthering Waves is not without its clunk, because it does exist. However, most of their character designs are exceptional and do away with the clunk aspect. This is why a character like Calcharo is easily being replaced in the next few weeks, and a character like Jingliao will be the best Electro DPS from here on out. I'm Void Enigma, and I'll be going over why smooth gameplay is what games should thrive for, especially when we log in every day to play these games daily. So get that tub of butter and lather it up over Yinlin or your best main, because we are gonna get smooth in here. So back to the point. Was it butter? No wait, it was Clunk. What is Clunk? Clunk is Verena using her intro skill and ending up in the air right next to the opponent to be one-shot. Clunk is getting 3 stacks of Death Messenger on Calcharo, but you aren't aware that you have to weave in normal attacks, so you just spam E instead of actually, doing normal attacks. Clunk is missing Sanhua's gauge when using her heavy attack and standing there like an idiot because of your own skill issues. The last one is not specific to me, I swear. I cannot stress how I wanted to drop Verena off of the same clip that she picks flowers from before I realized that I don't need to hold down her heavy attack in order to go into the air and heal. I can just jump and heal manually. Now that I never trigger her intro buff, I've saved myself so much stress. This was the declunker that I needed to fully enjoy Verena in my teams, but it took playing around with her to actually realizing that. The beginning cast of standard characters have their own clunkiness that I hate. Some are worse than others, but overall this is what makes them standard level. However, you can normally get around their clunkiness just by playing them differently. Genshin can be very frustrating to play sometimes because she requires so much field time, and while she is an excellent character overall for a flex pick, it can be frustrating when you're doing her heavy attack, getting your gauge up, getting your shield up, and then you get knocked out of the animation because you didn't have the foresight to think that you could tank a giant attack. It's rare when it happens, but it does indeed happen. This can be solved in many cases, like for example, you can simply just dodge and not get hit by that heavy attack, or if you're using Verena, you just opt to never use her intro buff when swapping characters, and when making a video by yours truly, you can leave a like because of how insightful or fun it is. Yeah, I'm subtly talking to you. And now that I've broken the fourth wall, then you may as well just like this video and subscribe, because who knows, I might just jump through the screen and hit that like button for you. Now that we've taken care of that, there are ways that we can adapt to clunkiness that exist within a character's kit, but sometimes that doesn't solve the character. Let's take a look at Calcharo, for instance. If this is your first time using this character and you want to deal the most damage, then at a glance, you'll do these steps. Ideally, you'll give him his best echo options, being the Thundering Memphis, and then you'll want to actually stack up all of his ways to increase his damage. So you would trigger Yinlin's outro skill into Calcharo, then you would use your E 3 times, followed by the echo use, then trigger an enhanced heavy attack for the buff, and finally let loose your Resonance Liberation. This is clunky. Clunky as fuck. Now, let's get that butter that we slathered Yinlin in earlier and add it to Calcharo to make things smoother. Firstly, get rid of that clunky echo because that's what's complicating things the most here, and you're going to be using this echo instead. You're going to pre-buffer your E cast and then make sure to use his enhanced heavy attack and quick swap into Yinlin. Then you're going to actually have pre-buffered Yinlin's outro so that it is quickly ready, and you're going to use that outro into Calcharo once again, and now that you've gotten the buff from his enhanced heavy attack, you'll be able to use his echo skill into his liberation for the same result, but you haven't wasted half of your uptime just setting all of that up to begin with. One is clunky, and albeit the second one is still clunky, but it's much smoother and you can actually get away with doing this for more damage. The point here is, this still requires too many steps compared to a character like Mortifian or Gion. It's simple. You do Mortifee's hold echo skill into Gion's echo, and then you swap back to Mortifee, trigger his outro, then you go back to Gion, hit up his Resonance Liberation, and beat shit up. Less steps to achieve the same goal is what equates to a smooth and fun experience. The characters that have been coming out have been more and more smooth, however. They have been allowing more adapt, quick swap techs, and Chun-Li, Yinlin, and Zheji are good examples of that. Nearly all of their kit can be quickly swap cancelled, and for Chun-Li specifically, you can hold down her heavy attack when her gauge is pre-filled to actually let off that flame sacrifice much quicker. It's just so smooth and fun. This is the type of gameplay that makes you love a character, especially when it feels like you're doing more than you actually are. I can hold down the click to let loose Chun-Li's flame sacrifice after her hold. Nice. Then I can quickly quick swap to Chixia and start daka-dakiing a motherfucker, and this is empowering stuff that we love in games. I am in love with the combat system of this game, and I am sure that you are too if you've made it this far. Comment down below what you think about the smoothness of the gameplay in Wuthering Waves, or if it's even clunky for some characters, or what you really just think about it overall. Even if they feel clunky to begin with, the skill expression in there among all of the characters is phenomenal. Even the likes of Calcharo, while he may feel clunky and get punished for dodging, for those sweaty players who are out there who can actually handle this type of gameplay, they will continue to play him. Even as Shen Liao is coming out to dethrone the Electro King, Calcharo is still a character that many people can and will use. And on top of that, you can get sequences for Calcharo a hell of a lot easier than Shen Liao. Since this game is about skill expression, any character can survive a quote-unquote power creep if you simply play them better. I feel I'm decent at the game, but when I see other people do crazy rotations, it really makes me reconsider. You can squeeze out so much extra damage just by playing better. The dodge counter mechanic greatly improves this as well, as characters like Chun-Li can easily achieve their damage output quicker by using dodge counters, and dodge counters in general just really do a ton of damage. The more characters we get like this, the better. Some people do not like this type of gameplay because it's very sweaty and you'll have to do a lot of things to achieve the same goal, but there are still characters like Jinchi and Gion who don't really have a high skill ceiling to play, but even then the same skill ceiling exists with these characters. This will only get better because future characters have been showing more adept gameplay options, so the next fear will not be power creeping the characters, but instead power creeping the animations because man, they keep elevating their standards more and more each update. I can say without a doubt that there is more fun gameplay to come because Kuro Games knows how to make very fun kits. Go ahead and like this video if you found it informative or entertaining, and make sure to subscribe so that I can see your support. Until next time, Enigma out.